Amulet and the Fairy. In a kingdom, once there was a poor Brahmin. He had a son named Dharan, who was a good for nothing. The Brahmin tried in all the way possible to have considerable change in his son's temperament, but all were in vain. Dharan wandered everywhere and squandered whatever he got. One day he wanted to run away from home, and at night he set out for a long journey. Dharan reached a dense forest. He entered it and walked straight deeper and deeper into it. There thrived creepers and shrubs abundantly, and it made Dharan's journey very miserable. But he continued his walk, overcoming all the obstacles. As he was moving forward strenuously, he was wondered and doubted to see a hermit practicing his penance sitting in the middle of fire. Hesitatingly, he approached the hermit and stared at him, fully astounded. The hermit opened his eyes and looked at Dharan with a kind look in his eyes. He asked, "What do you want?" Dharan replied, "I am hungry." Suddenly, the hermit took out a skull and filled it with sweet cakes and fruit. Then he stretched his hand towards Dharan, but he refused it, telling that he did not like it. The hermit created a very beautiful fairy and told her to arrange everything Dharan wanted. She led him to a palace which was made by her magical power, and he was given all the luxurious food items. In a pompously decorated bed, he slept comfortably after dinner. In the morning, when Dharan woke up, he knew that he was lying on the ground under a tree. He went to the hermit and said that he wanted to marry the fairy. The hermit gave him an amulet and said, "For 40 days, meditate with this amulet in hand, standing in water, and then for another 40 days, standing in fire." As the hermit said, Dharan started to meditate standing in water. When 40 days were over, he wanted to go home. He went home and lived there for some days. Then he came back to the forest. Dharan began to meditate for the next 40 days, standing in fire. When the 40 days were over, he opened his eyes and found his endeavor futile. He went to the hermit and complained against it. The hermit said, "You had never had concentration at all. After the first 40, you went home and spent some of your days there. It caused for your concentration to be lost. That is why you lost your hope. Go home and live with your parents peacefully." The hermit disappeared from the place with the fire. Dharan walked back home fully frustrated.